Okay, we're going to show how to create a blinking message display. So first we start out by adding some text. Just type in some numbers. Now select the text and go to its properties window and change the font appropriately. We'll make it nice and big, 72. And then also we'll change the color whatever you want. We'll use red for our example. Alright. Now we can go ahead and double click on it and set its animation properties. First we want to set up a message value animation. So we go to the value tab and say enable message animation. We're going to create a new variable. We'll just call it message index. Alright. And then we're going to create some messages. When the value of message index is 0, we'll leave nothing. No message in there. Notice that. When it's 1, we'll call it message 01. When it's 2, we'll call it message 02. And when it's 3, we'll call it message 03. Okay, and so on and so forth. That's the first part. Next, we're going to turn on the blinking. We're going to use the same new variable that we created, Control C. I'm going to drop that in here. And first, we're going to enable the blink. And we're going to say we want it to blink when that message is greater than or equal to 1. And copy it down here. And we also want it to be visible in that condition. So that's okay. So now we've done these things, we can say OK. Notice that it creates the variable for us. We say yes. And then finally we go and clean this up, the text display, by getting rid of this characters before the placeholders. And we do that in the properties window here. We just delete those extra characters. Alright. So there we go. That's going to be the message display. Okay, here I quickly created offline a value that is going to enable us to change that message index so we can see the changing message. If I double click on it, I see it's the same variable that we used in the display. I've allowed input on it, and I've said I've limited the values that I can put in there. Alright, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and download this project and start it up so we can see how it works. So I do that by clicking the download and start, and we got to wait a minute. Okay, so now the View project is running in simulation mode. If I click on this here, I'll be able to change the value. And if I put in a 1, we should get a message 1. So I click on that and say message 1 and say OK. And notice it comes on and starts blinking. If I change this value to say 2, notice that the message changes to 2. And so forth with 3. And finally, if I go back to 0, the message should turn off. Alright, so that is a blinking message animation. I hope that'll help you in some of your displays.